everybody, it's Daniel here, bringing you a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. Today we're looking at some Engineer gameplay, once again. It's just as well as the new intro is for Engineer, because I've been playing a lot of Engie lately, as I typically do. It is my favourite class still. In this game, I don't think that's ever going to change, although Medic is a close second now, which is kind of weird. But today we're playing some Engineer anyway, and we're playing something I haven't done in a while. No, it's not just sentry nesting, it's the fact that I'm using the Widowmaker this time. Because Widowmaker was my favourite NG shotgun back in the day, and it still is my favourite NG shotgun. It's kind of just a bit overshadowed these days by the Rescue Ranger, which was given to me by a friend like ages back now. My dear friend Rihanna actually gave that to me, which was really, really thoughtful of her. But now we have another gifted shotgun as well. It seems to be a trend here with gifted shotguns from you guys. Thank you so much to Jack's the Wizard, or Lord Gaben the Tax Collector, for donating the Masters Blasters Taxer Disaster. It's a very long-winded name, but that's what he requested. I was streaming the other day, and he actually kind of gave that to me on stream, which was just really, really cool of him. So, like, thank you so much, man. It's like, it's a strange Widowmaker, and a professional kill streak kit on it. Like, that's pretty fantastic. Like, it feels like an early birthday present, it really does, so thank you so much, man. But I'm using that today, because this is the shotgun that I used to use all the time when it came out. I remember back in the days of the Deus Ex update, it was the Triad update as well, and I remember when this came out, it was 2011, kind of in the autumn, and I absolutely loved it when this weapon came out, because I was relatively new to TF2 at that stage. I hadn't been playing for that long. I believe I've been playing since about the June of that year, so I was only like a couple of months in, and I was still learning a lot of things. But I remember when I saw the Widowmaker, it was the first real sort of, it was the first like sort of interchangeable weapon that really kind of got to me, because I grew so fond of this thing. Like, I got it the moment it came out, and I would use it all of the time. I thought it was so much better than like the regular sort of stock shotgun I had. I believe I had the Frontier Justice at that stage as well, just from achievements. But it was so cool to me, and I absolutely loved it. And it's from that I really started like delving into like all the variety of loadouts that I kind of do today. And it just encouraged me to experiment so much more just outside of stock. So really, like, that shotgun like means an awful lot to me. The fact that I have such a cool variant of it as well is just awesome. But I'm playing it again here because it's something I haven't done in a while. And because it's something I haven't done in a while, it's gotten me a bit nostalgic. Now, that's a weird thing to say, because this is only like 5 years ago. Like, 2011 is not a time you should be nostalgic about. Like, you shouldn't be kind of looking back at the days as like, oh, back in my day we had Skyrim, and that had just come out, and we were getting the last of the Fallout New Vegas DLC. Pokemon Black and White had come out. Like, that's not a nostalgic time. Like, it definitely feels like it shouldn't be. Because if people say nostalgia when it comes to games, they really mean, like, far back. Like, we're talking, like, SNES and N64 days now. Which is a weird thought, actually, considering that soon it's going to be, like, Xbox and PS2. People are going to be nostalgic about those. Soon it's going to be Xbox 360 and PS3. Imagine that. My god. But it's got me a bit nostalgic just because I've been using this shotgun a lot more lately. And what I've been thinking about is some of the things that I've changed in TF2. So this is one of those old man Daniel commentaries, and thinking back about a lot of the things I used to do back then, that I've kind of like ironed out since then. It's like one of the things that I've noticed is I'm a lot more grounded in my loadouts now, which is kind of a weird thing to say because, like, you know me when it comes to like kind of loadouts in my videos, like I really do experiment like quite a bit. Like I always try to use something new, or like I'll pick up something new. But it's something I realized when I was doing the soda popper video a while back, where I had a contract just to use a soda popper, which is something I hadn't picked up in forever. But really I've been grounded in about like the same set of loadouts for at least 2 years now, and I haven't really experimented much since then. And it's kind of a shame, because that used to be my favourite thing to do in the game, like just try out these things, like on top of the engineer nesting, of course. But in terms of loadout, like it's definitely something I loved. Like I would just experiment with so much, and I would try things like actively all the time. Like if you look at some of the older videos here, like there are things where I'm using like cow manglers and like liberty launchers. Like there's loads and loads of things that I kind of made in that whole area. Like there is, of course, like when I found out about like family business and stuff like that. Like that was a time when I was really trying to experiment with stuff, but I kind of got grounded in my ways after a while. Like I got comfortable with a couple of things to do, and I feel like I stopped experimenting. as much as I do today. There is still a couple of things I do experiment with. Like, when it comes to times 10, like, pretty much anything goes, because I'm just concentrating on weapon stats and seeing what would be crazy to multiply by 10 when it comes to that. But for the most part, like, I play it kind of safe. Like, I have a couple of, like, stock loadouts I go for. Like, I'll play my Neston Engineer, I'll play my Quick Fix Medic, I'll play a regular Medigun Medic too, of course. I'll play sort of like a default Soldier, a default Heavy, play sort of like standard Sticky Bomb Launcher demo. And it doesn't really change much outside of that. Like, again, it's old man Daniel talking, but where were the days where I was trying to do crazy things with cozy campers and Girati on snipers and messing around with spy knives and trying to get the red tape recorder to actually work for once on spy? Like, those days seem very distant to me, and again, it's very weird to actually talk about this, because it's sort of like a very recent nostalgia. Like, we're only talking about 2 years back or so, but it's just something I've noticed, because weapons like these, like, kind of take me back to those sort of times, and it just makes me reflect on, like, the duration I've been playing this game, which is probably, like, is one of my favourite games now. And it's like, there's a lot of games where you even, like, get grounded in those ways. Like, I've noticed in, like, other things as well, like Smash Brothers. I'll have, like, a stock sort of roster of, like, 12 or so fighters, which I'll rotate between. I don't really try these things out anymore. Like, I've lost that spark of my youth, where the world was my oyster, and I would try to make it all my own. I kind of just got comfortable, and I didn't really try that much anymore. And again, it seems kind of silly, because I still try to do things with the loadouts I'm comfortable with, but I just don't experiment with them to the degree that I feel like I did back in the day. And using this using this shotgun has really kind of brought me back to that. And it's kind of like sparked something in me. It sparked something in me where I kind of want to try absolutely everything in this game now, and I kind of want to start messing around with mechanics a lot more. Because this is something that I've kind of like vowed to do for a while in TF2. I remember like talking about this a lot back in the day. And again, it feels weird to say that, because like, I forget sometimes how long I've actually been doing this. Like, a lot of you are only kind of recent to the channel. Like, I believe last year we had like an influx of like 10,000 plus subs. Like, it was a pretty crazy time. But I've been doing this 5 years now, and things have like changed a lot in that time. Like, they really have. And for a lot of you, like, you may not see it because, again, kind of recent to the channel. But I sure as hell see it. Like, it in my head, like, it's been just a lifetime of like sort of like playing this game. And I want to just kind of like go back to some of those things that I used to do back in the day, because I miss being just like creative and trying things that I know may just be terrible. Like, that's something that like I kind of miss, because like I remember when I would just pick up like almost any single rocket launcher in this game, I would try it out regardless of the stats on it, and I would just use it. I cannot direct hit Soldier for my life, but my god, I would pick up that direct hit and I would try something new with it. That's just what I do. I think there was even a commentary back in the day where it was called Trying Something New, and it was actually about to direct it. And that's sort of where I kind of like vowed I would try more of these creative things, but I feel like I just kind of got comfortable with what I was doing, and that sort of disappeared somewhere. So what I'm going to be trying to do over the next while, I'm going to be experimenting again. It's something that's kind of like I've been thinking about for a while. It's just something that's brought on with like contracts, just reflecting on recent things that I've done, reflecting on some of these sort of like old favorite weapons of mine, just kind of like resurfacing and just making me want to use them again. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to do all these things now, and well, I mean, there's going to be more variety here. I'm going to try and find some more favorite loadouts for classes, and just try not to play this safe anymore. Let's get back to the wilder days of RTGame, which again sounds so weird to say, but I've been here a while, and I kind of want to try new things again, because it's just something that I've noticed I just don't really do. And like, part of the reason I think this was sparked is a game I've been playing a lot of recently is Pokken Tournament, which if you have a Wii U, it's like, my god, you gotta get that game. But I've been playing with every single fighter in that game, and that's something that kind of like brought it on. It's like, I'm not so much like kind of just choosing one thing to play as and just kind of getting like into a routine and getting comfortable with that. I'm just kind of looking at the game as a whole and just thinking like, my god, all these things are so cool, and I should try them out in like a variety of ways. And I feel like TF2 like provides that in a lot of the weapons. Like, I've made commentaries in the past where like I talk about like stuff like the family business and how that is like a really underrated shotgun, and how I actually really enjoy that. I feel like there's a lot more sort of like hidden gems almost in the game that people just don't give a shot, because you get sort of comfortable with the one reliable thing, and then you just kind of stick with that. So even if it's not as successful. I kind of just want to try crazier things, and that's kind of the point of this commentary. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. So let's get back to the wilder days of experimentation, like a mad scientist. I actually do have a lab coat, believe it or not. I did a Steins Gate cosplay years ago. Oh god, not years ago, a year back now. So maybe I should don that lab coat when I play TF2 and just experiment a lot more. Because there's a lot of things I want to try, and I don't know how they're going to work, but let's just go for them. Because games are about having fun and messing around with those things. It's not about playing the most optimum strategy. Like, it's a game. We don't need to take ourselves too seriously with this. It's a video game. It's for entertainment. Like, you should mess around with these things, because it's kind of fun. And that's just something that's kind of inspired just from, again, recent weapons in TF2, and from playing Pokemon a lot. Just, like, learning all the mechanics that are available to you in a game. Like, it's actually a lot of fun just to get invested in something in that way. So I hope this commentary made a semblance of sense to you all. Because I'm honestly not too sure about it. Like, I occasionally have these sort of old man Daniel commentaries where I talk about times gone by, and I'm not really sure if it comes across as coherent. Because, again, a lot of you are kind of new to the channel. Like, a lot of you haven't been here that long. But I guess you can relate to maybe, like, earlier days of playing TF2. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one who's kind of got, like, set in their ways when it comes to loadouts, and who are, like, not so much experimenting with things anymore. So I'm sure you can actually relate to it in that way, but hope this makes sense nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you with something new soon. Something crazy new soon. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.